Welcome to a brand new video. Today is the first long video I'm ever going to make that has my voice in it. But let's get started. I'm going to be giving you guys a sneak peek of my book. Let's get started with the prologue. Prologue. I never gave much thought to how I would lose my parents. It wasn't anything I expected the day I woke up alone in the cold dark room near me sad. My family weren't the richest, but they always made it work. My mum worked 3 jobs just to feed me and my sister. My dad was working in a factory. They always tried to spend time with us, but sometimes they were more busy than Batman. I always hope I can be a normal girl to understand what it's like to be a child, get on a bus and have school dinners. When I turned 13, my parents told me I could get a job. Instead of getting a real job, I wanted to be a YouTuber. My parents didn't approve, so I started it in secret. I never thought it would go so well, but it did. And then I woke up. All of it was a dream. I was hysterical. I went downstairs to get breakfast at 10 in the morning. I realised there wasn't anything but burnt bacon in the oven. I called my parents, but they wouldn't answer, and that's when I realised my parents were gone. Chapter 1. Missing. It's been about 3 hours since I found out my parents are missing. I didn't know what to do. Should I tell the police? My parents? I don't know. I do not have a clue. But all of a sudden I heard a voice in my head saying, "Ring your sister." I was so stupid not to think of that. I rung my sister for her to say, "If you want answers, meet me at the clock tower tomorrow at 12 a.m. I was so anxious, but what choice did I have? I have to know what happened. She followed, saying, "There's a secret in the family someone wants, and I'll do whatever it takes to find it. Don't tell anyone." She scared me so bad I peed my pants a little. I went to school, like always, but terrified. It was the weekend tomorrow, meaning I can find out my parents' deep secret. I stared at the clock, thinking about what it could be. Then I realised the things I were thinking were impossible. From then, I knew I had watched too many murder mysteries. I waited until the clock hit 3 and ran out of class. As soon as I got home, I took some money from the emergency only pots in the kitchen and ran to the shop. I thought I needed to get something to eat. So I got a microwave meal of spaghetti. I heated it up and I could smell it from my room. It smelt so good. When it was finished, I put it into a bowl and only had one bite. It was so good, but I felt sick to the stomach. I didn't want any more. I put it in the fridge and went to my room to do homework. My favourite lesson is art. We are learning about Picasso, but I was so distracted nothing came out of my work. It didn't want to feel like this. I have felt like a burden, but I can't help it. The things going through my mind were dreadful. What if my parents left because they didn't love me? I cried for 2 hours before I fell asleep. When I woke up at 11, I got dressed into my favourite t-shirts. All of a sudden, the doorbell rang. When I realised my boyfriend was supposed to come over, I opened the door and said, "We'll have to reschedule." He just put his hand over my lips and said, "We need to break up." I was shocked and ran to my room. That's when I decided to